Hello and welcome to Cinnabar Collectibles, and today we'll be talking about the cards you might have in your bulk that can make you a nice bit of profit. Collecting Pokemon cards can feel expensive at times, with the frequent releases of new sets and the ever-climbing price of sealed products and singles. One way to help ease this pressure for collectors is to use your bulk wisely and find the cards which you don't mind parting with to make a nice bit of cash to put towards your next purchase. We're going to be focusing on 10 training cards with a few special mentions at the end of the video, which you'll be able to sell right now to be able to pick up some other products or special illustration cards you might have your eye on. We'll be focusing on the cards which are staples in many meta decks which competitive players are always on the lookout for. This is a great win-win situation as collectors can make some money and competitive players can get more of the cards they're looking for. Sit back, relax and get ready to hunt through your bulk looking for these 10 cards, and do stay tuned for the special mentions which will really help your wallets. We're going to first start off with Night Stretcher from Shrouded Fable. This set hasn't been hugely popular, with a lot of people skipping it and even calling this perhaps the worst set from Scarlet and Violet. The low interest can be a win for you though, as Night Stretcher is used to get either a Pokemon or energy out of the discard pile. On TCG Player right now, the card sells for $2.20, and on eBay in the UK you can sell one for £1.85. If you have a few of these knocking around in your bulk, you can start to make a tidy profit. We now come to our next item card, Buddy Buddy Poffin from Temporal Forces. Buddy Buddy Poffin allows you to add 2 basic Pokemon with 70 HP or less from your deck onto your bench, and this card will be looking to sell as a playset of 4. For 4 of these you can make $8 in the US, and in the UK you can make £8.89 for selling 4 of these. We come to our first supporter on the list, Arven, an incredibly strong supporter who lets you search for an item card and a tool card from your deck. For one Arven, you can make $4 on TCG Player, and in the UK you can sell one of these on eBay for £2.50. Next up, we're going to move on to Iono, who made a splash when she first arrived in Paldea Evolved. She was also printed in Paldean Fates, which did pull the price down. Now we're looking to sell these in a playset of 4 as well. You can make $2 for a set of these on TCG Player and £2 in the UK on eBay. We now move back to an item card, Switch Cart from Astral Radiance. This card allows you to swap out your active Pokemon and heal 30 damage from that Pokemon. Now this card will be rotating out the format around March time, so this one is worth parting with now before it plummets in price. Right now you can sell one of these for $2.75 on TCG Player and £2.75 on eBay in the UK. Next up we have another powerful supporter, the mighty Boss's Orders. Boss's Orders allows you to switch out your opponent's Pokemon to any of your choosing. We'll look at the Get This version of this card. In the US on eBay you can make $2 selling this card, and in the UK you can make £2. If you have a stack of these in your bulk, the potential you can make starts to add up fast. The great thing about this card is though, as it gets reprints, the older versions actually go up in price, as competitive players like to play an older version of the card to make their deck more unique. For example, the Boss's Orders from Rebel Clash, the superior Giovanni, sells for $2.75 and £2.75 in the UK. For number 4 we go back to the trainer cards, and this one is Counter Catcher from Paradox Rift. This card also lets you swap out your opponent's active Pokemon as long as you are behind on prizes. This is also great because it doesn't use up your supporter for your turn. On TCG Player you could sell this card for $3.50, and in the UK on eBay you could make £2.50. We now move on to our first stadium card on the list. This is the ever useful Pokestop from Pokemon Go, which has found a home in decks such as Regidrago and Raging Bolt. It allows you to look at the top 3 cards of your deck and take any item cards you find there. However, everything else must be discarded. One thing to think about is that this card also has a time limit on its price, as it will also be rotating out around March, so it might be best to cash in sooner rather than later. In the US on TCG Player, this card could make you $3, and in the UK on eBay you can make around £2. People are always looking for a playset of these, which can net you a nice profit. Our next card is our first tool, Forest Seal Stone from Silver Tempest. When attached to one of your V Pokemon, it gives them the V-Star Power Star Alchemy, which allows you to look for any card in your deck. This card will also be rotating out of format around March, so it might be best to sell this sooner rather than later if you're not playing the TCG yourself. On TCG Player in the US, you can make $4.50 from selling this card, and in the UK, you could sell this on eBay for £4.75. In our number 1 spot, we have Earthen Vessel, which came out in Paradox Rift. This allows you to discard an item from your hand and search for 2 energy, giving most decks a great source of energy acceleration. In the US on TCG Player, you can sell this card for $6, and in the UK you can sell it on eBay for £5. If you have a bunch of these in your bulk, you can make a tidy profit. One thing to remember is you get one of these from the Surging Sparks pre-release kits, and you get 2 in the Trainer's Toolkit 2024, meaning if you're interested in those products, you could easily make back $10 to $12. Now for our special mentions, which can earn you even more profit. Our first one is Ceruledge EX from Surging Sparks, who is shaking up the meta with its Abyssal Flames attack, which does 30 plus the amount of fire energy in your discard pile, which can add up to a devastating attack. If you were to sell this in the US, you could make $6 for one of these regular EX cards, and in the UK, you can make £6. Next up, we have the Pikachu EX from Surging Sparks, with its ability that doesn't allow it to be one-shot. Instead, he will live with 10 HP left. Its Topaz Bolt also does an eye-watering 300 damage. In the US, you could sell one of these for $8. In the UK, you could make £8. Then in our top spot, we have Fezandipiti EX from Shrouded Fable, which improves most decks by allowing you to draw 3 cards if one of your Pokemon were knocked out with its Flip the Script ability. In the US, you can sell this card for $12, and in the UK, you can make £10 from this card. So there we have it. The best cards that you might have sitting in your bulk, which you can sell to make a huge profit. Let me know if you're planning on selling any of these cards, or are you a competitive player hoping to pick some of these up? Don't forget to leave a like and a comment if you liked the video. If you didn't like the video, send it to your enemies so they get to watch it too. But most importantly, thank you for watching Cinnabar Collectibles, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you, and good night.